Yesterday, Jamie found these nightstands at the thrift store, but they're really short. So I'm going to show you how to add bun feet to just about any piece of furniture with a flat bottom.
Well, these aren't really super short. They're just short for like modern beds. So adding some bun feet is a perfect solution for giving them a little height and getting them to where people can actually use them. So Zeb made the bun feet, and I'm going to be working on the finish today, which is going to be dark and decrepit underneath and over the feet. So we've got a good dark layer underneath. Then when that's dry, I'm going to layer on some DIY white swan, and we're going to give them kind of a rustic, primitive look.
Okay, so this is the bottom of the nightstand. I've got just 4 little blocks of wood. You could cut these out with a saw. I cut them on my miter saw. I'm just going to put a healthy amount of glue right there on these and just press them into the corner. I'm using my pneumatic staple gun with 1.5 inch staples to tack these in. So what I'm going to do is now I can put this here back a little farther, and this angle here on the original part of the nightstand is going to hold most of the weight. This is just so I can screw it in and not have it be flopping around if I need to move it around. So if this was flush, if this was all flat, I could just screw these in. I don't have to add these pieces. So I realize a lot of people aren't going to have an air compressor or a staple gun, but if you're looking to get into even just finishing your own projects, this staple gun can be ran off of a little 6-gallon compressor. And I use it every single day. There's not a day goes by I don't use this staple gun and brad nailer. So I have my combination square set at 1.75 inches. I'm just going to use this to make a little X mark where I want to drill my pilot hole. And that way all of my feet are right in the same spot. So I've got my little X. I'm using a 5/32 drill bit to drill my pilot hole. Goes about 1 inch in. And I'm not planning on taking these feet off, so I'm going to go ahead and glue them. Just pull that down snug. You don't want to go too snug. And you can see I've got about the same amount of gap there as I have on this side, and I'm going to do that on all 4. Alright, I've got 4 new feet on this. It's time to turn it over to Jamie so that she can stain it and paint it.
So we're going to be using dark and decrepit over the top of these to give us a really good dark undercoat. The nice thing is that dark and decrepit can sit on top of your finish. You don't actually have to sand it down to the natural wood. It also has a sealer in it, so we don't have to seal over top. And it's water-based, which means I can use my paint pixie brush, and when I'm all done, I can just clean it with soap and water. The dark and decrepit has been drying for about 2 hours. We're ready to paint. And I'm just using the DIY paint in White Swan with my paint pixie. And I'm just gonna put a coat of paint on here. We wanna go kind of loose and free because we're gonna be doing a pretty heavy distress. So I'll probably do 1 coat and maybe a little bit of touch up, and that should be enough. And I'm going right over the hardware because it doesn't come off. So we did 1 coat, we left it rough on purpose so there's less paint to take off. We're really going to expose a lot of that dark and decrepit and the natural wood. Alright, so I'm using my DeWalt sander and my 220 sanding grit paper. We'll put links for both of that below. We actually have used this sander a ton, and out of all my sanders, this thing has been a workhorse. I absolutely love it. I'm gonna go ahead and get this all sanded down and show you what it looks like.
I'm using Sweet Pickins top coat to seal this up, mostly because we want a really nice matte finish, and it's going to dry real quick and be ready to take to the shop because it's pretty warm outside today. When we're brushing on top coats, we like to use the 3-inch Worcester Foam King brush. Alright, so the bun feet are on, and we raised up these short nightstands by 4 inches so that they're going to fit next to a modern bed a lot better, because most beds are taller these days.
A lot of times you find vintage nightstands and they're just too short to fit your bed. So adding bun feet is a great way to add height and to use your existing nightstands, just make them a little bit more functional. I really love when we find Mexican pine. It's that old pine wood, usually has like holes in it, it's kind of rustic, all hand scraped solid wood. It's a great idea to take that furniture and turn it into a barn finish, which is what we did here.
So we just did 1 coat of paint on this so that it's easier to take it off. Plus, since we were removing so much paint, we don't want to waste paint by putting 2 coats, 3 coats on here to get full coverage.
For sure, and anywhere you're seeing still brush strokes after you're done sanding, you can just kind of wet distress and smooth out those brush strokes and bring that grain forward. This is a really beautiful wood, and it's kind of exposing that, but then you're getting the added benefit of a white painted piece. Be sure to go to JamiRayVintage.com if you want to get this look. We used White Swan, Dark and Decrepit, Paint Pixie brush. You can pick up these bun feet on our website. Just look up bun feet, the home decor and furniture section of our website. Be sure to hit that notifications button. We have some really great videos coming up that you don't want to miss. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.